Every day we bring you the storylines we think are overplayed and underplayed. Now today's overplayed is so overplayed we barely want to acknowledge it. Donald Trump said he'd spend, quote, whatever it took to win a potential presidential run. Did we learn nothing from 2008 and 2012? He's not going to run. Let's move on. No more.
Too many Americans go to too many prisons for far too long and for no truly good law enforcement reason.
That's Attorney General Eric Holder announcing today that the Obama administration will stop prosecuting some low-level, nonviolent drug offenders. It's a pretty big story, and to understand why it's underplayed, first take a look at this.
Our federal mandatory minimum sentences are simply heavy-handed and arbitrary. We should not have laws that ruin the lives of young men and women who have committed no violence.
That's Senator Rand Paul saying almost the exact same thing as Holder at Howard University in April. So our underplayed story today is the unlikely alliance between liberals and libertarians. Jackie, this is fascinating. Rand Paul, I want to focus on Rand Paul. This is a guy who I really do think kind of tries to reorient the Republican Party in a very interesting way. Mandatory minimums he's talked about legalizing pot, he's talked about same-sex marriage and whether that should be legal. This is a fascinating one because there probably aren't 15 things that Eric Holder and Rand Paul agree on, but there's space here where Rand Paul occupies. I don't know if any other Republican does.
Right, and it's evangelicals too. He brings them in as well with this. So it's one of these issues that there's going to be some really interesting alliances, and because of some of those alliances, you actually might see something go through Congress. I mean, he's already part of a bill that has liberals and himself and Mike Lee as sponsors.
And that's, again, people who underestimate Paul, I say this, the guy has found some ways to work in a bipartisan way. He's also found ways to block up the Senate. He's threatening to defund Obamacare, shut the government down. There's a lot there, but he's not so easily charactered. And I think the common ground on these mandatory minimums between Holder or the Obama administration and Paul suggests there's more there than might meet the eye with him.
Yeah. So that's our overplayed and underplayed. You can let us know what stories you think we should be covering on Twitter using #InPlay.